Welcome to Biggest Spoilars, the destination for exclusive spoilers, latest updates.
The moment the sun rose over Port Charles, slicing through the gray shroud of fog that clung to the harbor, it felt like the whole city was holding its breath, waiting, listening, bracing for the kind of revelation that changes everything. And at the center of it stood Laura Collins, a woman who had spent far too many years cleaning up the messes left behind by secrets, lies, and hidden puppet masters. She thought she had seen every kind of villain the world could offer. She believed she had survived every twist the universe had prepared for her. She hoped the worst had already been dragged into the light. But Laura was about to discover that Port Charles still had the capacity to blindside her. Because today, the icy, whispered rumors swirling around town, rumors about a shadowy mastermind known only as C, were about to collide with reality. And Laura, steady-hearted, battle-scarred, still hopeful Laura, would find herself standing face-to-face with the identity everyone feared but no one imagined. As the day began, a strange sense of urgency pulsed through every corner of the city, as if the people could somehow sense the sweeping transformation that was coming. A baptism was about to begin, not with water, not with ceremony, but with truth. Raw, harsh, unfiltered truth. Truth that would burn. Truth that would purify. Truth that could destroy. And Laura Collins, she would be the first to feel the fire. Laura started her morning in her office at City Hall, convinced she could push aside the shivers of unease running down her spine. She sipped her coffee, organized her paperwork, and repeated encouraging words to herself like a quiet mantra: "You've survived worse. You can handle anything." But reassurance only went so far when the phone on her desk buzzed with a message that made her blood run cold. "Meet me at Pier 47. I know who C is." And signed. Those few words broke her calm like glass underfoot. Not because she feared danger. Not because she feared deception. But because she feared the truth. She had chased leads, interviewed frightened witnesses, followed trails that always went cold, always led nowhere. C was slippery, powerful, deadly, someone who had resources far beyond ordinary criminals. Someone who could manipulate events from the shadows, stirring chaos with a single whisper. But Laura wasn't turning back now. She walked out of City Hall with determination in every step, as if each footfall was part of a sacred ritual. She felt something within her shift, like she was crossing a threshold she could never return from. It wasn't water that anointed her. It was purpose. And the moment she arrived at the pier, the baptism truly began. The informant waiting for her, hooded, trembling, watching the water as if expecting it to rise, spoke in low, shaky phrases. "You're the only one who can stop this," he said, voice cracking under fear's weight. "But once I tell you who C really is, your whole world is going to shift." Laura steadied him with a hand on his shoulder. "I've faced Cassadines, mobsters, madmen, and murderers," she told him, letting her words carry the strength he lacked. "There is nothing you can reveal that I won't confront head-on. Speak. Please." He swallowed hard. "Before I tell you, you need to understand something. This person, this force, has been manipulating Port Charles for longer than anyone realized. Every attack, every disappearance, every sudden betrayal, all of it ties back to them." Laura inhaled sharply but stayed calm. Encouraging words poured from her like a bomb. "You are doing the right thing. You are brave. And when this is over, you will not stand alone. I will protect you. I promise." But the informant only shook harder. "I'm not afraid for myself," he whispered. "I'm afraid for you." And then he said the name. The name that shattered Laura's world in one breath. The name that made her knees weaken. The name that made her whisper, "No, that's impossible." Because C was not some faceless mastermind. Not some foreign criminal. Not a stranger lurking in Port Charles' shadows. C was someone Laura knew. Someone Laura trusted. Someone Laura had defended. Someone whose betrayal would pierce her deeper than any knife. The name echoed in her mind like a clap of thunder. A person tied to her past. A person she believed had changed. A person she never imagined would rise again with such dark power. Her heart drummed against her ribs, pounding out a warning. Do not believe it. Do not accept it. Do not let this be true. But the informant knew too much. Described too many details. Matched too many puzzle pieces Laura had been ignoring. Evidence. Motives. Connections. It all lined up. And Laura's breath trembled with devastation. Her voice cracked. How could they? After everything, why? The informant wiped his eyes. They think they're saving Port Charles. They believe chaos is the only way to strip away corruption. They think destruction is justice. It was twisted. It was delusional. It was something Laura had seen before in older enemies, but never expected from this one. She whispered their name again, barely audible, as if afraid the wind might carry it into the wrong ears. And as the truth washed over her, the baptism of revelation completed its brutal cleansing, burning away her illusions, forcing her to stand in the scalding clarity of what she now knew. Laura Collins was known for her compassion. Her ability to forgive. Her belief in redemption. Her refusal to let darkness win. But betrayal, this level of betrayal, ignited something fierce in her. A heat. A fire. A righteous wrath she rarely unleashed. She stepped close to the informant. Listen to me carefully, she said, voice low, steady, shaking with controlled fury. I want you to run. Hide. Stay quiet until I tell you otherwise. Because once C realizes you've talked, they will come for you. The informant nodded, tears mixing with fear. Laura continued, her voice growing sharp, commanding, powerful. And when they come for me, because they will, I will be ready. I will not run. I will not bend. And I will not let them destroy this town. She turned toward the water, wind whipping through her hair as a storm brewed above. Tell them, she said through clenched teeth, that Laura Collins is not afraid. Tell them the days of hiding in the shadows are done. Tell them I'm coming. Her voice cracked like thunder. And if they want a war, I will give them one. And just like that, Laura's entire perspective transformed. It was as if her discovery unleashed a ripple that spread across Port Charles, touching every storyline, every home, every secret. People felt the shift. They sensed a reckoning. Even those far removed from politics or power couldn't shake the tension humming through the streets. At General Hospital, nurses whispered in corners. At Kelly's, customers debated the latest rumors. At the Savoy, watchers and informants exchanged uneasy glances. Everyone knew something was coming. No one knew the full truth, except Laura. And she carried that truth like a torch through darkness. As she walked home, her inner voice wavered between trembling hope and fiery determination. You can do this, she whispered to herself. You've fought nightmares before. You've survived enemies more ruthless than this. You are stronger than your fear. But then another thought pushed its way through, sharper, colder. How could someone you cared about become this monster? The betrayal cut deep. But Laura refused to crumble. She lifted her chin, stood straighter, breathed deeper. You are Laura Collins, she reminded herself. You are a survivor. And you will not let this destroy you. Those encouraging words settled over her like armor. But the anger simmered beneath the surface, ready to strike. Laura did not wait. She did not hesitate. She marched straight toward the person whose identity had shattered everything she believed. The confrontation, a collision years in the making, exploded behind closed doors, where only shards of their voices leaked into the corridor. Laura's fury, sharp, righteous, trembling, pierced through the air. How could you? After everything? Do you have any idea what you've done? You manipulated this city. You endangered families. You broke every ounce of trust one had left. And their voice, calm, chilling, delusional, responded. I did what I had to do. Port Charles needed someone strong enough to remake it. Laura's eyes filled with heartbreak and fire. You don't remake a city by tearing it apart. Their answer came with a smug confidence that made Laura's skin crawl. Oh, Laura. I'm only getting started. Laura's anger ignited into something sharp, unstoppable. She stepped forward, inches from their face, every word drenched in fierce warning. You listen to me. If you hurt one more person, if you manipulate one more situation, if you so much as breathe wrong in the direction of the people I love, I will end this myself. Her voice sharpened. I will expose you. I will dismantle every network you've built. I will tear down your entire empire with my bare hands. They smirked. You can try. Laura leaned closer, eyes blazing. Oh, I won't try. I will succeed. The tension snapped like lightning. War had officially begun. As Laura walked away from the confrontation, her heartbeat roaring in her ears, she felt something shift inside her. It wasn't fear. It was clarity. Strength. Purpose. She had been baptized in truth, purified by fire, strengthened by fury, and steadied by hope. The encouraging words she once whispered to others now flowed back into her like life returning to dry soil. You are not alone. You are not powerless. You are not done. But beneath those gentle assurances, the darker emotions still pulsed. The anger. The betrayal. The promise of vengeance. And she let it burn. Because the war with sea was coming. Port Charles wasn't ready. But Laura Collins was. We now know who was behind Drew's firing on General Hospital. Curtis hired Selena to do the deed. But as usual, the Port Charles PD is a many way behind us. And in the week of December 8th to 12th, Dante and company are just now closing in on the existent who tried to take out their city's most despised character. Sorry, they're closing in on someone. But, grounded on the promo that ABC just released, it may not be the shamefaced party but Willow, who lately tied the knot with Drew in part to further throw dubitation off of herself. Elsewhere in the exercise, Dante appears to inform Alexis of a certain relation's captivity break. Oh God, the council sighs, what has Valentine done now? But what he's formerly done may not be nearly as stunning as what he's about to do. As Dante warns, there's lower than no mistrustfulness that the escapee will move heaven and earth to reach son Charlotte. He could indeed be the existent we see at the end of the clip sneaking up behind Anna. Hey, she's advanced her former nut a hand in the past. How Valentine's escape will work toward his platoon up with Carly to bring down Brennan remains to be seen. Would it be indeed harder to door a plot while you're on the getaway from the law? Will intrude Valentine Cassadine's meeting with Carly Spencer, while someone enters the room where Anna Devane is being held and turned. Plus, some new substantiation shells regarding the Drew Kane shooting case. The GH exercise videotape for the week of December 8th to 12th has been released, and there are some major stunners up ahead that suckers need to brace for. The promo opens with Dante Falconeri breaking some news to Alexis Davis. Dante has a hard look on his face as Alexis dramatically notes, oh God, what has Valentine done now? Dante can be heard in the voiceover saying, you can go. He's going to try and find Charlotte, as close-ups flash of a shocked-looking Lulu Spencer and also a solemn-faced Charlotte Cassadine. Still, in between the clips of Lulu and Charlotte, Valentine is shown with Carly in her living room, where suckers last saw them during the close of the Friday, December 9th, occasion. Valentine's attention is turned behind him, and Carly looks like a deer caught in headlights, so it nearly seems as if someone walks in and discovers them together. Still, will they get caught, or will the two just hear someone walk in? Will Valentine have the time he needs to hide? As the scenes shift, Dante can be heard formally again on the voiceover, as a clip of him, Nathan West, and ADA Justine Turner is revealed. The three at the PCPD in the interrogation room, as Justine has a slew of papers and lines on the table. Justine has a serious look on her face, as well. Dante states in the voiceover, some new substantiation has come to light, so where do you want to go after? As Dante says, where do you want to go later? A split screen of Curtis Ashford and Willow Tate appears. Willow looks shocked and hysterical, as though she's shamefaced, as Curtis looks stern. So, will this substantiation make Willow or Curtis look shamefaced? The synopsis for the GH exercise does state, the manhunt begins after new substantiation comes to light, so will the PCPD be on a wild goose chase trying to find their suspect? Could Willow or Curtis attempt to flee city if they suspect what's going down? As the General Hospital exercise for the week of December 8th to 12th winds down, the final scenes show someone walking into the room where Anna is being held hostage. Who could this be? General Hospital spoilers suggest some explosive moments over the coming 5 days, as the ABC cleaner kicks effects up a notch or two before the leaves hit. General Hospital spoilers are in for Tuesday, December 9th, 2025. In Hereafter's occasion, Valentine Cassadine needs another favor from Carly Spencer. Justine Turner strategizes with Molly Lansing Davis, Sonny Corinthos, or Jen Sidwell, however. Molly has a smile on her face, so I'm guessing it might be Drew. Could Justine suppose that the way to get to Drew is by targeting Willow Tate Kane? If Drew loves her so much, perhaps they can make a deal. Meanwhile, Drew assures Willow that Turner isn't knocking on their door. Read this: Britt Westbourne brazened as for Britt, she owes Jason formally again. The croaker might not have enjoyed her crapulous night, but Jason made sure she got her medication. Once Britt awakens, Jason wants information. Britt suppositions that Jason wants to know the name of her drug and who gave it to her. However, if Britt tells Jason that, also both of their lives could be in peril. Sidwell has formally shown Britt exactly what he's able of. Sonny Corinthos compares notes. General Hospital spoilers for Hereafter's occasion reveal that Sonny and Laura Collins will compare notes. While they don't know how to get out of this dilemma with Sidwell, they will map. After all, they can't let someone like Sidwell rule their lives. Lulu Spencer explodes. As for Lulu Spencer, she blows up at Jack Brennan. The Golden regrets ever letting Charlotte Cassadine visit with Valentine. Now Jack wants to use Charlotte again, and Lulu wouldn't have it. Valentine Cassadine's next move after storing Valentine in the chalet. Carly will have yet another problem. Jocelyn Jacks is in the house. Next, Valentine comes into the house wearing a mask and shivering. The man looks like he might need a croaker. But is this a trick or not? At this point, I'm not relatively sure, so stay tuned.